Yo. No, stop. Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another video. My name is Sensei. This is my... I don't know. Some good gotta go there, but... Alright. I gotta make a good intro. That was trash, fam. Today... Okay, stay in camera view too. My vlog skills is buns. Anyway, gotta stay in camera view. And today is a Q&A. So I asked people on a couple of social medias of mine, ask me some questions. I'm making a Q&A video. This that video. This that video. But it's time. So without further ado, I'm about to make you do what it do. Huh? I gotta get that out. I'm gonna cut that out. All right, so first question. What do you want to be when you grow up? All right, me, but no, I'm just kidding. When I was young, I wanted to be an architect for a really long time. Oh, I wanted to be a doctor. I told my mom and my grandmother, I used to tell them this all the time when I was little, like I was like really young. I'd be like, I'm gonna become a doctor, I'll buy a big house, put all my family in it. I've been saying that since I was like young as hell. But probably not a doctor. Oh, okay, I'm having my PhD, but I'm not gonna be like a doctor as in heart. Could be. Look out. Young surgical. Don't forget about me. Ooh. Nah, but anyway, further, I wanna be a journalist. I'm gonna study and paramedic. I'm gonna study paramedics coming up very soon, or at least I want to get in, and I'm gonna do that for 2 years and probably work in that field like a couple years, maybe like 2 or 3 years. And after that, probably in the middle of that third year, I'm gonna start journalism and mass communication. I got into A&T, but I'm either gonna wait, and if I don't get into the paramedic class, I'm gonna go to Greensboro and go to school to be a journalist. Journalism and mass communication, because then I can do radio and other things. I know radio and stuff is a dying platform, but it's a platform that telecommunications in its entirety is good to have, because it also goes into the copying, digital production. Like I don't have to just be like doing journalism, because mass communications, or I can go into actual journalism and telecommunications, or I can get a minor in telecommunications. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then also I'm trying to start a podcast, so all ties into the stuff I want to do. So that, I guess, I just want to be in art. I love art. Art took me through most, and actually a lot of all of my saddest and deepest hurt. Art has always been there, so I have like some affliction to art that I can't get out. I can't get rid of it. Ooh, excuse me, that's the second video in a row. Ooh. Anyway, cats and dogs. I didn't used to like cats, but I got one cat, changed my whole perspective. And it wasn't the cat that my family had, because that cat was trash, fam. My cat, that's that guy. I ain't even gonna name drop him. You know who he is. But I like dogs better all around, because dogs are man's best friend. I miss my best friend that I didn't even get to see before I came home from the army a couple years ago. His name was Black. He was a black Labrador, and he was my best friend, and I miss him so much. And I didn't even know he was gone until I got home. It's kind of deep, really sad. I didn't mean to get there. Anyway, how do you cope and deal with your emotions, your meditations? Well, the bad way I used to do it was I used to just have random sex with random girls, because that would make me feel better, because being a hoe was better than facing my problems, and better than trying to deal. I would just run through girls. Flat out. And it wasn't good. That's never the answer to any of your problems. You're a girl and you're having a bad day. Never run through dick. It's not gonna. I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube, but if I get striked, please, Jesus, fucking strike. Ah, I'm gonna have to bleep that out. But yeah, like, don't stress over guys. Dudes, don't stress over vagina, but there's so much in the world. Don't stress, bro. It's okay. Get to what you gotta get to and leave. They'll come. There's so many women in the world. There's so many dudes in the world. They'll come. Don't get stressed or stuck over one person. Cause that was my mistake. And now I accept it. I'm just like, yeah, this is what's happening. What can I do to stop it from happening? What can I do to make it happen where I want the way I want things to happen? What can I do to like? What can I do to like? Wow. What can I do? What can I do to make the situation better than it is right now? There we go. Yeah. What's your sign? I'm a Leo. Best sign in the zodiac. That's a fact. Fire. Hey, I'm about to say water sign. Look. Fire. I'm a cusp with Cancer though. Who are your main influences like in life? My mom, my stepmom, my aunt. All three of them make weird decisions sometimes, but they influence me a lot because they're like really strong women. Really strong women. And they went through a lot and they still somehow end up on top. And I love that about them. My brother. So that man went through a lot. And he still came out on top. He's still coming out on top. I'm proud of that man every day. I really am. Because I used to be he was always, I used to be the more stable of us. And after I graduated, I just like, boop! And he got with his girl. And he didn't need her to stabilize his ass, but they matched well together and they found that out early. And they got stuck with that. And that's all there was. And meanwhile, I found that. And then I fucked it up. Because being a cheater is better than being happy, right? Long-winded question. Anyway, if you were kidnapped, what would your strategy be to get out? Oh, okay. So yeah, no, for those, if it's like one of those like small, like this, actually like this length as well, like this length and like thickness, I'd say. You don't rub it like, I forgot how they did it in the video. They like twisted it around and they like, I can't remember. But if it's one of those, like a zip tie, I forgot how they did a zip tie too. Because you can't bite it, because you can't unless you have like double joints to get over your head. Find a corner, try to scrape. If you can't find anything that's sharp enough to like scrape the restraint that you're gonna have on, off, or if you can't see or blindfolded, gagged or whatever, first of all, make sure you have vision. That's your first strategy. Find vision, or just make sure you can see. After you can see, make sure you can breathe. After you can, well, make sure you can breathe and see at the same time. I'm pretty sure that's like a double. You breathing at the same time, or trying to breathe at the same time that you're trying to see. So both of those, and then try to get the restraint off and find the exit. After you find the exit, you try to find somewhere near that's close or not. Don't go anywhere close to go to the cops, because that's where they're going to expect you to go and they're going to come find you. So you go further, and it doesn't matter how, well, it depends on, okay, so if you have to hide somewhere for them to like to evade, they're probably going to think of the places that are close to where they are, because that's where they brought you to. So they're going to know the surrounding area. So you go further away from where they know, so you can't get caught. And you just call the cops. remember where you were, remember the steps if you can. If you're in the back and they actually actively kidnap you, try to remember how fast they were going and which turns they were making from where you were. Try to remember that in your mind and stuff like that. And then make sure, like, if you're in the back of something, still do the same thing. Like, try to think about if they're turning right or if they're turning left and how fast they're going and how long they're going, how fast they're going, at what place and which direction that they're going in, stuff like that. It helps. The little things help, because that's how people get found, and that's how people have found out of other people doing crazy stuff. If you won $1 million, what would you do with it? Oh boy. Firstly, I'd pay off my student loans. It's not that much, but still, I'd pay that off first. I'd pay off my mom's student loans. I'd pay off my stepmom's student loans, even though they could pay for it themselves in whatever sense and when they can, and they still can. They have they make enough too. That's something I want to do. Mine is not nearly enough as much as theirs are. So that, pay off my aunts because she's in school too. Pay my mom's bills for like a year or two, depending on how much that is. Probably not that much, but with $1 million, if it's not tax free, if it's tax free money, then I'm doing all this. So yeah, pay for her house for a year and a half. Buy me a house. Buy me a car. Pay my house and car off. I'm probably gonna pay for my car outright, so it's just gonna be my car, and then I'm probably not getting anything too special. Probably I really want a '97 Impala that's like nice looking, but if I can't get that, I'm just gonna get like a 2000, whatever year I get the $1 million in, the year 2 years before, Chevy, maybe still an Impala, but a manual because I want a stick shift car. And then buy my books and stuff so I can go to journalism and paramedic school, and buy studio time and equipment. I wouldn't even buy studio time. I don't want a manager either. Distributor? No, that's money I have to pay. I don't know. I might just do everything by myself. Honestly. That's on a different note though. What's your most important thing to you? What's the most important thing to you at this moment in your life? Time. Time is always going to be something that's very important in my life all the time. Time is always important. Time is forever important, even though it's not even a real concept or a real construct. Time is something that we made, not we as in people. Actually, we as in people. Some man was like, this is what time is. This is how you tell what's going on throughout the day. But God didn't make time. When the sun went up, the sun went up. The sun went down, when the sun went down. Dusk and dawn. That's about it. Dusk, dawn, middle day, maybe. The numbers came about sundial around time when people are like trying to figure out calendars and like other kind of calligraphies and shiggities like that. But in times before, I wasn't there. I can't really, speak on that. But time. I feel like I don't have enough of it sometimes. I feel like I have too much of it sometimes. That's the worst than not having enough. I'd rather have too much. No, I'd rather have not enough time than too much time. No, I'd rather have too much time. Yeah. If I'm not busy, then I'd rather have not enough time. If I'm busy, then I'd rather not have not enough time. But if I'm not busy and having too much time, then it's not good. I'm sorry. What's your biggest pet peeve? I really don't know. Probably I'd say like I don't know. having to deal with being alone, or like having to like deal with fighting my own demons. That's my own pet peeve of myself. I have to. I'm not good at fighting my own problems by myself. Yeah, that's a pet peeve, and I that inherently makes me not like people that do the same thing that I do. And I didn't know that until just now. Until I just said it. It makes sense. If you could sit and have a 2-hour conversation with anybody, dead or alive, who would you pick? Ow, my toenail back because it just got cracked on the chair. Well, I already did that, so that's a bad wish because I can do that again, and I'm gonna do that again. My grandma. Both of them. I'm picking both. Both of my grandmothers. 2-hour conversation with both my grandmothers, I would love, because I miss them so much, and I didn't tell them that enough when they were here, and now they're not. Yeah, that. How would you change the world if you could? I wouldn't, because I feel like I always feel like I have to change everything or make everything better, but that's not my job. Simple. Why isn't it okay for black men or boys to cry? Ooh. Because that's what was put in the heads of us by either our fathers or grandfathers or uncles. Don't be a sissy, bruh. I'm saying mine, because mine wasn't even like that. None of my family, well, my father was. The only person I say that I feel like would actually have a problem if I were gay or I chose to be gay would be my dad. Mom would accept me. My stepmom would accept me. My aunt would be like, why? But she would accept me still. I feel like nobody would like care except for my dad. Like, why are black men so afraid to be looked upon as like feminine? What's so wrong with being a woman? The woman makes the fucking world go around. Men built the world, but women nurtured it. You dumb fuck. Women are literally sequential words. They're needed for the world. Then women are everything. They're not everything in the sense that there is nothing other than, because there are gay men in the world. But women are important. Off topic. Anyway, why isn't it okay for black men and boys to cry? Well, because we have to be strong and we have to be portrayed as strong most of the time, because the other points in the world we look weak because of what is being our circumstance. I didn't say that correctly, but our circumstances basically make us look a lot less than we are, and then we have moments of being a person, and then it's looked upon as being an animal instead of being a person, being scared, and it's not allowed. It's also like a generational brought down kind of thing. Like, your father was like, hey, don't cry, man. Men don't cry. Big boys don't cry. That's always what the father would say to the son. Big boys don't cry. Blah, blah, blah. You're a man. Blah, blah, blah. Men don't cry. Blah, blah, blah. But why? What's wrong with our tears? Why is our tears so highly valued that we can't even run them down our face? Nobody can give an answer to that, right? Oh, I have an answer. It's because it's fucking false. It's false. We have emotions just like women. We have emotions just like other men races. We are not immune to having fucking feelings, black men and black boys. We are not immune to having feelings, black men and black boys. It's not that deep. You're still a dude. You're still masculine, even if you fucking like what you like, bro. Cry. Feel bad. Because the world has a lot of shit that happens that could bring you down or build you up. You just got to think of it another way and be more you. Fuck that. Shed a tear if you feel in some type of way. Because who's going to stop you from crying? Nobody. And leave a like if you like the video. I'm being one of those people. Subscribe to my YouTube. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I have a link to all my description stuff. I got a link to all my descriptions. Hey, got a link to all of my description stuff. I got my. I don't know.